Hello students, today's topic is MAC protocols. MAC protocols over the wireless computing, or we can say the mobile computing. So first we have to understand about the traditional MAC protocols. So in the traditional computer networks, what happens? The data link layer of the OSI model is divided into two parts. The first one is called logic link control LLC, and the second one is called MAC, that is media access control. So the job of LLC is to provide the error and flow control services to the incoming data from the physical layer, and for the MAC layer, that is the media access control, is responsible for allocation of the channels to the user. So why it is needed? Because in this diagram you can see that this is one channel and there are three users. They want to transmit data. Suppose user A want to transmit to B and suppose C want to transmit to B. At the same time the collision will happen. So in order to mitigate this one drawback over the accessing of the channel, the MAC protocols have been developed such that these kind of collision type of things will not happen. So the MAC protocol or the data link layer itself have some rules, that is the exchanging of information and data towards the network layer. So data is come from the 0 and 1 in the form of 0 and 1 from the physical layer. Then after that the frame will be generated by the LLC and the MAC layer, and this will be exchanged towards the network layer. So this is all about the traditional MAC layer protocol. But what about the mobile computing? Mobile computing, basically what happens, this is a user in terms of the mobile phones and this is the base station. So in order to communicate with any users, in order to make a call with any user, in order to transmit the data, we have required one channel. So this one channel is fixed between the base station and the user. Suppose this is a Seminary Hills area and there is one base station, but there is not mandatory that only the one user have to access the services. There can be multiple users, more than 100, more than 600 or 1000, whatever the quantity can be arrived at a particular time. So the number of nodes are not fixed in the mobile communication system, and this base station towers are provided by the service providers like the Jio and Airtel. So in order to provide the services, in order to provide the data transmission services to the users, it has to purchase some bandwidth from the ISP. So bandwidth is nothing but the band and width. Means if the width is very wider, then lot of channels can be accommodated by one bandwidth. So when the bandwidth is high, so we can say there are lot of channels, there are multiple channels that can be served for users to access certain facilities from the internet. So in the wired fashion, what happens? In the wired fashion, the number of nodes are fixed, as well as we already know what can be the possible number of nodes in our environment. But in the wireless case, we do not know exactly how many number of nodes can be arrived at a time in order to maintain the communication. So that is one of the drawback over the wireless communication, that every node can acquire the services, any node can get the services from the base station, and the number of nodes can not be fixed. So there is a requirement for the MAC layer in the mobile computing in terms or in comparison to the traditional wired computing. So what should be the properties inside the MAC layer protocol can be inherent? The first one is more than one users can get the channel efficiently, because there are so many number of users. So it has the capability, it should be the capability of the MAC layer that more than one users can get the channel in an efficient manner. Also because it is serving at the data link layer, so for the physical layer it can be served as a guard. Means the launching of the bits, the encoding and decoding of the bits converted into the frames, that all of the things has to be done in the disciplined fashion. The third one is called the allocation of the channel to users lead to maximum utilization of the channel. Means it will not be a case that a particular channel is fixed to the user and the another one is ideal. So channel should not be ideal, there should be a proper utilization of the channel at the particular time. Also there should be fair allocation of the channel. Means there should not be a starvation problem occurred in the network, it will be leads to degradation in the performance. The fifth one is must be robust. Means it can be understand as a fault tolerance. So fault tolerance means if there is a network failure or the base station service failure, then the MAC layer should be the capability that to borrow the services from the neighboring cells and allocate that bandwidth and channels to the user such that the continuity of the service can be maintained. So for the real-time environment, there is one protocol, that is IEEE 802.11, that is also called the Wi-Fi card, is exist for initiating the communication in terms of the mobile environment. So what are the issues in the MAC wireless? The issues in the MAC wireless is we cannot identify how many number of nodes in a particular network, because any node can join the network at any time, and also the collision detection is very hard. So inherit of these issues, there are two particular problems. The first one is called the hidden terminal problem, and the second one is called the exposed terminal problem. So what is hidden terminal problem? We can understand by using the diagram. So in the hidden terminal problem, what happens? The scenario is, it is a communication range of A and it is a communication range of C, and the B will lie in the communication range of A as well as C. So we can say A will know that the presence of B and C will know the presence of B, but A and C did not know about the presence of each other. Means we can say A is hidden from C and C is hidden from A. So what happens if A want to transmit the data to B and C want to transmit the data to B at the same time? The collision can be happen. Like this diagram can be understood by using this pictorial representation. So the same scenario happened. The A wants to transmit the data to B and C want to transmit the data to B, and simultaneously at the same time the collision will occur, because A and C are hidden of each other. A will not know the presence of C and C will not know the presence of A, but B will know the presence of both of the nodes, that is A and C. So this type of problem is solved by using the CSMA-CA protocol that we will discuss in our next chapter. The another problem in the MAC layer is called the exposed terminal problem. So in the exposed terminal problem, there are four nodes. The first one is called A, B, C, and the third node will lie into the range of communication range of D. So in this scenario, we can see that B will know the presence of A, B will know the presence of C, A will know the presence of D, D will know the presence of A, but A will not know the presence of C and C will not know the presence of A. So A and C are hidden of each other, as well as D and C are exposed terminal. Why it is? Suppose D wants to transmit the data to A and C wants to transmit the data to B. So by using the pictorial representation, we can see this D, A, B and C are the number of nodes, and this is only the one channel, that is indicated by the term channel. So the protocol says if any station want to transmit the data, it has to first sense the channel. After sensing, if the channel is idle, then the permission will be goes to the node that okay, you can transmit the data. So at the same time, if D and C want to transmit the data, suppose D want to transmit to A and C wants to transmit to B, so D and C simultaneously senses the channel and the channel is ideal, so the permission will be granted to both of the nodes D and C, and the packet transmission, or we can say frame transmission, will get happen. So by using this permission, D will transmit the data to A and C will transmit the data to B successfully, and the collision will not happen because these two nodes are different. But what happens in the carrier sensing multiple access protocol? The drawback is, suppose before period to the communication, channel has to be sensed, and D is transmitting the data to A and the data size is very large, so the transmission time and the propagation time will get higher in that case. So during the transmission time, if C wants to send to data to B, C has to sense the channel first, but the channel is not ideal because this channel is currently used by D in order to transmit the data. So what happens, C will be restricted that you cannot send the data because the channel is not ideal. But this is the case if C wants to transmit the data to B and C in fact transmit the data to B, there will not be a problem because these two channels, or you can say these two nodes, are different. So this problem is called the exposed terminal problem, and it leads to the poor utilization of the channel, because at the same time both of the both of the channel can transmit the data, but due to the carrier sense multiple access protocol, it will not possible. So that's why it is called the exposed terminal problem. It means D is exposed to C and C exposed to D. Exposed means D and C are within different communication range, and the activity done by D and C will not interfere to each other. In fact of this, D and C is not permitted to transmit the data. Means C is not permitted to data. C is not grant permission to transmit the data to B. So this is a poor utilization of the channel, and this problem is again solved by the CSMA-CA protocol that we will discuss in our further sections. Now there are three types of MAC protocols. For the wireless communication, or you can say mobile computing, there are three types of MAC protocols. The first one is called fixed assignment scheme, the second one is called random assignment scheme, and the third one is called reservation based assignment scheme. So this scheme can be understood as a timetable of your class. Like the fixed assignment scheme is followed by now the institute, that the particular slot is fixed by a particular faculty and the students, and that particular slot will not be used by any of the student as well as any of the teachers. So second one is called the random assignment scheme. So instead of the timetable, any faculty can choose a time according to own and schedule a class. So that is called the random fashion assignment scheme, in which I have to acquire the channel by randomly. Then the third one is called reservation based scheme. Reservation based scheme means whenever I have required to establish or schedule a class, so I have to communicate with the higher authority as well as the students, and according to their conversation, according to their you can say the tuning, we can establish or schedule a class. So that is called the reservation based scheme. So fixed assignment scheme is understood as a circuit switch network in which prior to the communication at the designing phase, you have to assign a particular resources to the users, just like the telephone system. So in the telephone system, the exchanging of the telephone lines is prior to the communication, and the channel will be fixed. So according to the resources, there are three types of things. The first one is called time resource, the second one is called frequency resource, and the third one is called the code resource. So according to the time, whenever the fixed assignment scheme is applicable, that is called the time division multiple access. Then if the resource is frequency, or you can say bandwidth, that is called the frequency division multiple access. And whenever it is a code, then you can say the code division multiple access. And all of these terms we have to see in our next lecture. So thank you guys. If you have any problem, you can directly mail me. Thank you very much.